Hello, this is Tobias speaking from Extreme Distribution, and I would like to start the webinar with Woody Technologies today. You'll get some news, some great news actually about some great features, about remote ingest, about mobile ingest. So very welcome. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us and for looking out for the news of Woody Technologies today. So actually, I'll be in the webinar with Aurélien Prel, one of the co-founders of Woody Technologies. He's also responsible of global sales, and he will guide us through all the news of the Woody product line and all kind of the strategic topics as well. Hello, Aurélien.
Hello, Tobias. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much for having us here and for presenting all the news. I hand you over.
My pleasure.
That you can share the screen.
Great. Thank you, Tobias, and thank you everyone for being here with us today. The last time we broadcasted some news was around the supposed to be an AB time, so it was already more than 1 month ago, and of course I will show you some things that we've announced during this virtual NAB that we had, but I will also focus today on some other news, other updates that happened since that time. So even if you have followed our last virtual NAB webinar, you should stay because there will be some interesting news for you as well. Today we will talk mainly about remote ingest workflows in general, but remote ingest is really a trending topic these days with the current situation. We will also talk about working with social network content with a very interesting user story that happened just a few weeks ago that I want to share with you today. And we will talk about live capture, SDI and IP live ingest, and it's also a trending topic in these difficult and troubled times. So these are the three topics that I will cover today. Of course, you can ask any questions during the presentation with the questions tool of the GoToWebinar, and Tobias will read your question and ask them to me. Just to start, I will start with Woody Intuit today with the local and remote ingest. Woody Intuit, for those who don't know what it is our global platform for file-based ingest. We have been developing it for years now, and we are really now at a level where we can cover a lot of use cases for file-based ingest with Woody Intuit. We have multiple variants of it for standalone installation, for small mid-size installation, up to enterprise size installations with Woody Intuit Server and Woody Intuit Essentials, and now we have also Woody Intuit Go for the remote ingest. So definitely, if you have file-based ingest needs, Woody Intuit can help. What are the latest improvements that we've done in Woody Intuit Server, especially since virtual NAB? We have improved the cloud watch folders option. So we all know automated workflows based on FTP or SMB watch folders, but in Woody Intuit Server, you can also configure watch folders from Amazon AWS S3 or from Azure Blob Storage. So we can automatically retrieve the files from these cloud repositories and ingest them to your production environment or to any PAM, MAM you are using. So this is very useful, and you will see later on with the user story about Woody Social and Woody Intuit Server how we can leverage the cloud storage to create very efficient workflows. The second major improvement in the watch folders area is the XML sidecar support. This has been a request for a long time from our customers, and it's now available. So now any media that is coming with sidecar XML containing metadata can be imported, and of course all these metadata that we have in the XML sidecar can be extracted and can be transferred to your target environment, so to your PAM environment or your MAM environment, any database that you are using to store this kind of metadata. So these two improvement in the watch folder area, you can directly find it in the setup configuration of Woody Intuit server in the watch folders area, and you can see here that now we have more file systems that we can use for retrieve the source files, AWS S3 and Azure Storage. And for the triggering, we can trigger not only on media, but also on metadata file. Metadata file here means XML sidecar. And we can also, of course, trigger on camera cards if you want to directly drop camera cards in a Woody Watch folder. So this has been improved a lot and is already used in production by our customers. What is also interesting here is all the filters that we have about the file names, the file extensions, the subfolder names, and also we've improved the post-processing option. So now you can directly move the source to a different folder after processing or directly delete the source file. So all this watch folder part has been completely rewritten and improved, and this is something that you can find in the current release of Woody Intuit Server, the release 3.3.3 that is already available, and the release note is available also at support.woody-technologies.com. Another improvement that we've made these last months and weeks is the authentication providers, because we had already an Active Directory integration, but yeah, it was not satisfying entirely for many reasons. So we've completely rewritten the authentication part in Woody. And this is allowing Active Directory integration through LDAP, but also SAML2 integration. This is very useful for all the cloud-based applications and cloud-based services, as SAML2 is the authentication protocol used by many providers such as Okta, OneLogin, or other identity providers in the cloud. So now you can directly use these two providers in Woody Intuit Server and in all Woody products. What is also good about this authentication changes is that now we are no longer importing the users from the providers in Woody, which was super complicated to manage then when you need to delete someone from a user group. So now we are doing a binding, a dynamic binding with the Active Directory or with your provider groups, and you just need to manage your users in your usual provider and just create the corresponding bindings in Woody. So it's easier, it's safer, it's really improved. Last two things are more about deployment. Deployment is especially for the complex installations combining Woody Intuit Server plus Woody Intuit Go clients or Woody Intuit Essentials client. That can be a bit complicated when you have multiple versions around. So what we've added in Woody Intuit is that now you can control which version of client is loaded on this server. So if a client that has a previous version is trying to connect, it will be asked automatically to upgrade its version, and it can also directly download the installer from the server itself. So now we have a Woody Download Center integrated in Woody Intuit Server, so you can directly download the installer from any client just with your Woody user and password. So these are improvements on the deployment. Not changing the life of the users, but changing the life of the administrators who are managing the wide range of Woody installation. Last thing is about a unique installer. So that's something that we've been working on for a while, to have one unique installer for all Woody products, making deployment easier. Now all the features are driven by the license that you have. So if you are installing Woody Ingest or Woody Social or Woody Intuit Server, you always use the same installer, and we give you the appropriate license that will configure the product as you expect. So these are some of the very recent improvements that we have brought to the Intuit server. But But one major change in the Woody Intuit product line that I want to talk to you today is Woody Intuit Go, because we have spent a lot of time these last months to improve the workflow of Woody Intuit Go. So just as a reminder, Woody Intuit Go is the solution to ingest content from any device and from anywhere to your production system. This production system can be on premise, but also in the cloud, could be in the cloud. This is the case for a customer that we are working with right now, where all the production system is deployed in private and public cloud. It's an hybrid solution, and Woody Intuit Go clients are pushing media and metadata over various protocols to the production system, which is located in this private and public cloud. Woody Intuit Go is really made to be used by either people working from the field directly on their smartphone, on their laptop, and needing to send content to the main facility. But it can also be just a remote office that you have, or just the people working from home, which is quite a common use case these times, and wanting to ingest content to the production system. So the main advantage of Woody Intuit Go is that all the configuration is cloud based. So you have one central point to configure all the users, all the ingest profiles, all the rules for delivery, for transcoding. And when a Woody Intuit Go client starts, it's directly pulling the configuration from the cloud-based configuration server, and it's constantly updated. So it means that you don't need to go on each smartphone, each laptop to update the configurations manually. This is all done automatically from the cloud-based configuration service. So that's really an easy setup to enable remote workflow in your organization. On the production side, we can have Woody Intuit Server, of course, or any file-based ingest system that is handling the media and the metadata and transferring them to the central storage and to the media asset management system. Of course, I've mentioned multiple times smartphone in this speech. So what is important is the mobile app that we released recently, and it was not available on the stores when we had the virtual NAB. It is now available on the stores. So Apple Store, App Store for iOS, and Play Store for Google for Android. So you can download Woody Intuit Go from the stores. You can browse your library and select the media that you want to transfer. Of course, you can select the right profile and add the right metadata to the clips and upload the content to the production system directly. So it's a very easy way to transfer photos and videos from your mobile device straight to the production environment. This is coming along with the desktop client, which is the usual Woody Intuit experience that you probably know already. So the desktop client for Woody Intuit Go is really doing the same that any Woody Intuit installation. So basically browsing the camera cards or the files that you have on your laptop or computer or on your camera card, selecting, trimming the content, adding the metadata, and transferring it very easily and very safely to your production environment. So now we have the combination of the Woody Intuit Go desktop and mobile, which covers really all the cases of remote ingest. All of that with central configuration, which makes also it easy to deploy for administrators. Last word about Woody Intuit Go. We have a launch offer for the mobile app until the end of this month. So if you purchase Woody Intuit Go desktop before the end of this month, you can get the same number of mobile licenses free for 1 year. So if you're interested in this offer, just get in touch with Tobias or anyone at the Xdream or Woody team, and we will be happy to help. So that's about the file-based ingest and the remote ingest with Woody Intuit Go. Now let's talk about working with content from social networks. We made a major announcement at a virtual NAB 1.5 months ago, integrating the new search engine powered by our partner Noonkey. So this search engine is really changing the game of finding relevant content across social networks directly in Woody Social, and I will show that to you in a minute. But first, I want to start with a user story. This happened just a few weeks ago during this quarantine period. And this is the system that we built in only 2 weeks for a US customer, major US broadcast network. Their need was, with everyone working from home, to have an easy way to get the content from websites and social networks, which was a lot of content during the COVID crisis, be ingested in the Avid production systems across the different locations that they have. So we had 250 remote users from everywhere sending requests, ingest requests, and performing search queries in Woody Social, hosted in the Azure cloud, in Microsoft Azure cloud. So just from their web browser, they can access with their credentials to the Woody Social user interface. And from there, choosing the appropriate ingest profile, the content is sent directly to the right location. So they have 7 offices around the world, mainly US and the UK, which are receiving this content. And to do that, to achieve that, we used Woody Intuit Server Cloud Watch Folder capability to retrieve the content from the Azure cloud dynamically, plus the metadata coming with it, and ingesting everything to the Avid PAM, including the transcoding to the house format. So the workflow that is described here and that you can see here is really the best we can do with combining Woody Social, Woody Intuit Server, cloud deployment, on-premise deployment. That's really a nice project. And what is good is that this is really fast. It takes only seconds to retrieve the content from Azure Cloud on each location. We have, of course, organized the cloud storage locations to be as close as possible of the final destination of the content, and we are benefiting of the Microsoft infrastructure for that. So it's really efficient, and it's really also easy in terms of deployment and configuration. We took only 2 weeks to deploy already 4 or 5 locations, and the rest is ongoing. So that's a very nice project that I wanted to share with you, and it's super easy to do. That's my main message here. So Woody Social, we mentioned the new Noon Key search engine. What is bringing this new search engine? So thanks to Noonkey search engine integrated in Woody Social, we have a new search UI completely redesigned, allowing search per keyword or per location, but also allowing to follow a list of social accounts. So let me show you how it looks like in the Woody Social user interface. This is here. So this is the cloud system that we use for the proof of concepts. It's super easy to set up an account in this system. So if you like to test it, just be in touch, and we'll be happy to make this happen. So here you can see that we have search per location, search per keywords, or search per list of accounts. So it is quite easy to access one of these search options and add here your filters and your criteria to search across Twitter, vContact, also named VK, YouTube, and Vimeo. So if you want to get the latest content, this has been added. This criteria, recent, relevant, popular, have been added after our virtual NAB presentation. If you want to search for the most recent content, you can here easily add the keywords here, apply to all social network, and run the search and get the latest content that has been posted on this topic. So it's very easy. You can do it from anywhere. You can preview the content directly here, and you can drag and drop the photos and the videos that you want to ingest here on the right hand side into your selection list. So once the content is ready for ingest here, you can choose your ingest profile. Here I've just created 2 for the demo purposes. And you can request the users to add the proper metadata to make sure that the content will be properly indexed in the target system and easy to find and easy to manage. So Then when you click on the process button, this is all being processed, downloaded, transcoded to the house format, and delivered to the target storage and target media asset management if you have one. So as you can see, that's really easy to find the relevant content and to send it through the to the production system. What is good is that, as you can see here, we can save the search. So if you want to rerun this search on a regular basis or just get the live updates of it, you can keep the search here and get it saved. So the two other modes that we've here is the search per location and the search per list of accounts. List of accounts apply to Twitter only. So we can create here a list of accounts and decide that we want to search for the latest posts from the EU leaders, for example. So super easy, you create the list. Once the list is saved, you can run the search and get the latest posts from these people that you've added in the list. What is also good that I forgot to mention before is that we have the details view here. This is super useful because you know who each account has posted it, how many followers it has, how many posts it has published already, and if the content is geolocated, you can even have the mapping and the street view from the location where the content has been posted from. So this is advanced info on the content that is super useful to do the fact checking and see who has really posted what you were looking at. So that's available in all the views and for all the searches that that I've mentioned before. The last search option that you have is the search per location. So the search per location allows you to draw a circle on the map to see the latest content that has been posted from a specific location. So if I go here in Paris and I draw a circle in the center of Paris and I just ask for the most recent content around, not giving any keyword, I will just see what has been posted in this area recently, which is super useful. If something happens, something unexpected happens somewhere, you can immediately see if content is being posted from this location. So it's really helping you to build your news story because you can easily find out what has been posted from a specific location. So that's the three search modes that we have available with the new Nunkey search engine. And as you can see here, we can even see directly on the map where the content has been posted from, or we can have just a bigger view with all the results shown. So that search engine, if you want to know more, just be in touch with us. There are other features that I can't show you today, but I will be happy to set up an account for you and to give you a more private guided tour in Woody Social. What has also been done is the release of the Google Chrome plugin. So one request that we had from the customers is that sometimes they don't need to search in Woody because they have already found what they want. So this is why we built the Woody Social plugin for Google Chrome that is available on the Google Chrome Web Store. So you can go there. And once it's installed, you can see here that we have a Woody Social icon in my Google Chrome toolbar here, and extensions bar, sorry. And when I am coming to a website that contains some compatible content that can be ingested by Woody Social, for example, here I am on Facebook and I will check a public video on Facebook. Sorry, my connection is getting a bit slow. You can directly open here the Woody Social plugin and perform the ingest from the plugin itself. So as you can see now, it has turned red because this is compatible, and we can directly click here and again choose the profile and add the metadata that are requested by my workflow administrator. So it's a super easy way to trigger an ingest and start it immediately and follow it and check that everything is going well. So The plugin is another way to use Woody Social, and now the licensing model is reflecting that. So we have the search engine users and we have the plugin users that can be combined in the different Woody Social offers that we have. So very easy way to ingest content from social networks. One thing that I forgot to mention about Woody Social is that we are not only getting the media, we are mainly also getting the metadata. So it means that nothing is lost on the way. We will preserve the URL, we will preserve the source author, the source description. So if you need to come back to the original content later on, you can really easily do it and not having anything lost during this process, which is giving more control, more supervision on the global ingest workflow. The last topic I want to mention and the last news I want to share with you today, and then I will take some of your questions, is about Woody Ingest Live. So Woody Ingest Live is a product that we announced last year at IBC, and we did a lot of work during the last months of 2019 and the first months of 2020 to make this a ready-to-ship product and to improve the features based on the feedbacks that we got at the IBC. So Woody Ingest Live is our product that is able to ingest any live content, including, of course, SDI, but you can see here it's not the first one of the list, because what we see now is that we have more and more requests for ingest of NDI and IP streams. And it's good because Woody Ingest Live can handle all of this. So SDI input support is there is nothing to explain, but NDI and web. So NDI is very interesting because a lot of devices are now supporting NDI, and a lot of software are also now supporting NDI. This is the case of Skype. So you will see in a minute that it's very easy to record Skype calls with Woody Ingest Live. But also since virtual NAB, we got the announcement from Teams and Zoom that Teams and Zoom meetings will now support NDI, so can be recorded also with Woody Ingest Live. So it's a very great news for our customers because all of these new ways of doing remote interviews will be available for recording in Woody Ingest Live. Web sources support. So we support a lot of IP/web protocols, including RTMP, HLS, UDP, but also SRT, and YouTube Live, as you will see in a minute in the demo. The architecture of Woody Ingest Live, we have two modules here. We have the video server itself that can be either a physical server for SDI ingest, or why not a virtual machine for NDI and web ingest. And we have the Woody Ingest Live scheduler that can control multiple video servers and that will be used, that will be the main user interface of the ingest operators to schedule or trigger the crash recordings. All the content that is recorded by the video server can be transferred to the PAM or to the MAM or to the storage with edit while ingest capability. So you can start editing in Media Composer, in Adobe Premiere Pro, while the record is in progress. The scheduler is web-based. That's what you will see immediately. Which is very easy for the people to use and to work with. So this is the scheduler that we have, the web-based scheduler, and here you can see that we have all the channels available. So here in the same user interface, I'm managing from one server 2 IP channels, 2 NDI channels, and from the other server 4 SDI channels. All of this in the same user interface, and I could have, of course, more. So it is super easy to supervise all my ingest work, live ingest work, in one single user interface. About the scheduler itself, it's quite easy. Either you click somewhere on the timeline where you want to schedule a recording. You choose the URL, if in the case here of an IP stream, or you can choose the SDI source if it's on another channel. So let me find a live YouTube live URL here, and put it in. Super easy. Just copy and pasting the URL here. So that's very easy. Then you can choose a profile. The profile is important because it contains all the settings about where the content will go, where the content will be ingested, what will be the metadata that are required in the workflow. So that's quite important, and that is also guaranteeing all the right organization of the content in your target system. And you can also decide if you want this to be a recurring event and not just a one-time recording. So that's the first way, just putting a recording on the timeline by scheduling it. But you can also do a crash recording, and now I will show you this with the NDI inputs. So for the NDI inputs, we have two options here. We can do a screen capture, or we can do directly an ingest of any NDI source. So here I've configured on another computer that I have here the CNN website that I want to capture with a region of interest. And here you can see that this is selected already as my NDI source on this NDI1 channel. So NDI can be used to do screen capture or to record, for example, Facebook Live or anything that you want to capture from a computer. But this is also can be used to record Skype calls, and as I said before, very soon also Teams meetings and Zoom meetings. And this is super easy. Now on my network, I have a PC that I am using for receiving the Skype calls, and now I am calling this PC with my smartphone. So anyone with a smartphone can call it, and now the call has been automatically answered. And here in my ADI sources, we can see that we have this available, and we can record either the remote user, the active speaker, or the local speaker very easily. So here you can see that we can easily trigger a crash recording with this source. Let me just put it here. So this is, oh, I am trying to record too long. What's wrong here? This is the demo effect. So let me just interrupt the Skype call to avoid the echo. I think you get it. A small issue here with the scheduling, but yeah, that's a very easy way to record Skype calls and to get them available while recording in my production as management system, like here my Avid system to work and edit on it. So that's what Woody Ingest Live can do: record from multiple sources on the same platform and on the same system. Some additional features are available, like video control from the thick client, black frame and freeze frame detection. We can of course have multiple ingest profiles, as you've seen, and we can apply, as in all the Woody products, naming and organization rules on the recording. So you can make sure that everything comes into your MAM or PAM very well named, very well organized, based on the metadata that you have defined to be entered during the ingest process. So Woody Ingest Live can run software only for NDI and IP sources, or also can run on qualified hardware appliances provided by Woody. So yeah, if you need to know more about this, if you want to know more about this, just let us know, and we will be happy to give you all the details. That's what I wanted to share with you today. That was this short 30 minutes session to show you what is around and what is new. As you can see, most of the announcements that we've made at Virtual NAB 1 month and a half ago are now a reality and even deployed for some of them. And we have done some more work since to improve all of this. So if you have any questions, just type them in the box, and I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Aurélien. Let's see if there are some questions coming. So until maybe the questions are typed in, or if there's some coming, could you maybe say something a bit about the licensing model? So is it perpetual license, subscription renting? What are the possibilities there?
So we are known to be flexible at Woody. We have extended the scope of subscriptions recently, especially with Woody Social, which is now available only on subscription, and also with Woody Intuit Go, because the subscription model is a good fit for Woody Intuit Go. But generally, we are flexible. The products are available either with perpetual licenses or with subscription. And we have floating licenses model for Woody Social, for Woody Intuit Go, and for some others. So yeah, we are trying to find a good fit based on the customer expectations.
And I think we've mentioned that partly, but let's mention it again. In terms of test licenses and demo licenses, that's rather easy for us to organize.
Oh yes, completely. That's generally quite easy to organize it. We can either, for Woody Social, set up a test account in the cloud, or we can provide trial licenses to be deployed on premises with our help for installation. We have installation guides, and generally we are doing products that are easy to set up and install and use. So yeah, it's in general a couple of hours to make everything up and running for a good proof of concept, and a quick walkthrough with the users to show them how to take advantage of the solution.
Great. So there is just one question coming in concerning Woody Live Ingest.
Yes.
And the question is, can Live Ingest record from web streams as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what it was showing with the YouTube Live. We have other web streaming protocols that are supported, like RTMP, HLS, UDP, SRT. So we are supporting a wide range of web streams. And for those which are not supported, we can always use the screen capture with the same solution using the NDI ingest. So yes, definitely it's a solution that is really good to record web streams, Skype calls, and so on.
And can it be integrated with my PAM or newsroom system?
Definitely, that's one focus of Woody, to integrate with multiple PAM and MAM systems. We have existing integrations with some famous PAM and MAM systems, including Avid, Grass Valley, Dalet, but we are happy to integrate with more. And this is really our goal, to be the ingest solution that is agnostic from the PAM, the MAM, or the NLE, and to integrate with third-party APIs. So if you have specific needs for an integration, we have a flexible workflow engine where we can add these connectors to new MAM and PAM systems, and we are happy to do it.
Another question is there a MOS integration with NRCS?
There is no MOS integration at the moment. I'd like to know more about the use case because I don't see it exactly right now, but I see the MOS integration purpose for playout, but for ingest, I'm not sure. Let's discuss about it and yeah, see what we can do.
Yeah, we can discuss about it on an individual level after the webinar as well. So, and another one, can Live Ingest also record from VTRs?
Yes, we have VTR control, so it's not done through the web client because the user interface to record from the VTR and to control the VTR is not available yet in the web client, but we have another client that can be deployed on the recorder to control VTR via RS422 and to record from the VTR.
So I think that's it with the live questions. There are some questions about the app, the Intuit Go app.
Mobile app. Yeah.
Exactly. For what users is the new app made? For journalists only?
Oh, mainly for journalists. What the idea here was to say that people can directly send content that they have shot on their smartphone and get it ingested in the workflow as if they were transferring this content first from their smartphone to a computer and then sending it through Woody Intuit Classic app. So yes, the main use case is to have this available for journalists. Then anyone who has content on its smartphone and want to get it ingested can use it.
And are there editing functionalities within the app?
Not yet. Right now we have released it mainly as an uploader, but we have some very interesting work in progress that I cannot reveal now, but stay tuned. There will be more soon about this.
Nice.
I like doing some teasing.
Absolutely, we think we should
Yeah,
do that.
no, we cannot unveil this widely right now, just because it's not completely ready. But we are happy to get feedbacks on what we are doing. So if you have a specific project requiring these kind of features, please be in touch. We'd be really happy to have a discussion on that topic.
Very good. And we also have to have follow-up webinars, so that's good for that then as well. And now we are going a bit more to the Woody Intuit standalone and the server part. So someone is asking, for what customers or use cases would you recommend the Intuit standalone, and when would you rather recommend server? I don't know if you can answer that on this kind of general level.
I can try. So the customers for Woody Intuit generally are anyone who has media content to ingest to a central storage or to a central management system. So production facilities, post-production facilities, broadcasters, agencies, news agencies, digital agencies. We have a lot of different customers. Then about the different variants and the different deployment options that we have, it all depends on how many ingest points you need. So if you need just one or two ingest kiosks with just a few ingest streams parallel, a standalone is okay and is a perfect fit. If you now have 4, 5, 6 or more ingest points, or if you want to combine manual ingest plus watch folders, then you need Woody Intuit Server, because Woody Intuit Server will enable the possibility to combine the manual workflows and the automated workflows based on watch folders. So it's a question of size of your installation and also the kind of workflows that you want to run.
And there was a question what the difference is between Woody Intuit Essentials and Woody Intuit Server only.
Yeah. So Woody Intuit Essentials is the client that is connecting to Woody Intuit Server. Basically, in that configuration, Woody Intuit Server will do all the AV work, transcoding, connecting to the MAM, and the client, the Essentials client, will do the browsing of the local sources. So the browsing of the local hard drive, of the local camera cards, readers, and offer the user interface to select the content, put your in and out points, and transfer that to the server where it will be processed. So it's again a question of where do you need the content to be ingested from, how many users do you have, and based on what you need, we can build the proper configuration with Woody Intuit Server, Woody Intuit Essentials, or Woody Intuit Standalone if you only need a single ingest kiosk working autonomously. So what I recommend is that we have a specific conversation on your need, and we can go through the differences between the Woody Intuit versions more deeper, and we can figure out what is good for your business case. And this can change over the time. That's something also important. I mentioned before that we have one unique installer and that everything is driven by the license. So if you need just one single ingest point to start, and later on you want to convert that to a server with several clients around, that's something we can do as well.
Just to put in context, also Woody Intuit Go into the Essential and the Woody Intuit Server GUI.
Yes. So to answer that, I just need another PowerPoint to show you what is the difference. So let me just change this, and I will give you more details about the variants of Woody Intuit deployments. Sorry, let me just find it. That will take just 1 second.
No
yes,
problem.
I have it. Yeah, it's better with drawing to explain the variants,
Yeah.
because it's true that we have now quite a wide range of solution with the Woody Intuit. So let me show this to you. So the Woody Intuit Standalone is really needed when you have a dedicated ingest workstation, dedicated ingest kiosk, I would say, where you connect everything and everything is directly ingested straight to the PAM or the MAM system. Woody Intuit Server is when you want to have a scalability, redundancy, load balancing in your workflow. And if you have basically more than 8 ingest streams to manage, it's a good idea to go for Woody Intuit Server. And this is combined with Woody Intuit Essentials, which is the client to browse the source content, select it, and push it to the server where it will be processed. Also, Woody Intuit Server is required if you want to have watch folders or API control for automated workflows. And Woody Intuit Go is really the client side on the field or on the remote office, on the remote location, where you will browse your content, select what you want to transfer, and transfer it. And this can be combined with Woody Intuit Server. This is the drawing that we had before. This can be combined because the content that you are pushing through Woody Intuit Go can be then processed by Woody Intuit Server on premises to be transcoded to the house format and ingested to the storage and to the MAM system. So I hope it's more clear. Otherwise, you can see here that we have multiple drawings describing the various use cases. So that's something we are happy to share with you if you need.
Very good. So yes, always please contact us for an individual call demonstration so we can speak about your use cases in a more dedicated session, of course. One more and one last question. It is about the whole API topic. In this case, I think I would like to have it addressed in a more general way, but also can I use the Woody Intuit software as a service controlled by API only?
Yes, you need Woody Intuit Server for that, but basically everything that we are able to do from the Woody user interfaces or from the watch folders can also triggered by API. So we have RESTful API. The documentation is available, and it's also quite easy to set up. You can access the profiles, you can submit jobs, and do many different things. So we are happy, and we have up and running API integrations for a while now, so that's not a problem.
Great. Thank you very much. I think we leave it with, we said it's a quick session. We already made it a bit longer. To conclude some parts, so definitely you should test the software depending on your needs. You should expect some more evolution on the Woody app, for example, but definitely also on the Woody server and on the other Woody products. I think the ones of you who have followed a bit the Woody way in the last years knows that there is a lot to expect. I'm very curious about it, and I'm looking forward that you join us for the next webinar as well. Thank you very much once again, Aurélien, for the great demonstration.
Thank you, everyone.
And Aurélien and I, we are definitely looking